Welcome to the best of high school sports in Northern California. We are MaxPreps Sacramento, powered by SMUD.
We're going to bring in a lot of basketball. The playoffs for the Sac Joaquin section start just next month. We're going to go over some of the top teams, some of the girls players, boys players, great rooting sections, all kinds of fun stuff. Stick around.
Welcome back for another edition of MaxPreps Sacramento, powered by SMUD. I'm Mike Finnerty, joined as always by Joe Davidson, the Sacramento Bee, and it is full-time high school hoops. Joe, we had a chance to really delve in deep last week, get really deep into it. Boys and girls, we got highlights once again this week. We have our Placer Title Company insiders. We'll catch up with a former high school star in this area, boys basketball player now in the NBA. Lots to cover, and one thing at this point of year, we love league play because the games mean something.
Yeah, coaches will say they all mean something, but they really mean something in league play. And then next month when the playoffs start, well, this is when the season really counts. So there's waves of it. And you have to establish something in league play to continue momentum. And the two games that you stopped by, we see an elite girls team in the Sac Joaquin section that expects to be in the NorCal finals, and then two powerhouse teams. What can Jordan do for you, whether it's Brown or Ford? In Placer County, I'll talk about a game I was attended, Sheldon, Jesuit, two Sacramento Bee top 5 teams, all kinds of stuff, and we're just getting warmed up. You know, basketball is really up this season.
All right, Joe, but we're going to get to the highlights now. We're going to head out to Roseville for a big-time Sierra Foothill League matchup. You've got the Folsom Bulldogs on the road to take on the Wood Creek Timberwolves. We head out to Wood Creek for a battle between two of the top teams in the Sierra Foothill League. It's the Folsom Bulldogs taking on the Wood Creek Timberwolves, both teams 3-0 in league play. Well, it was Folsom looking good early behind plays like this by senior guard Jordan Ford. The steal and the bucket at the other end makes it a 16-6 Bulldogs advantage late in the first. To the second quarter now, more Ford. This time he drives, kicks it to Will Penrose, and Penrose drains the three to make an 11-point Bulldogs lead. Folsom continued to set the tone. Here's Jared Wall driving and dishing to Mason Fro Forbes to go up 21-10. Wood Creek went on a run late in the half behind the play of 6'10" sophomore center Jordan Brown, getting to within 4 at 23-19 and then again at 27-23. But Folsom had the final say with Chris Romberg knocking down this shot. To beat the Buzzers, Folsom would head to the break up by just 6 at 29-23. Third quarter action now, and Folsom would put this game away for good. Ford's three here pushed the lead to 10, and then it's Trey Finch. He gets the shot to go up by 12. Late third quarter, Ford hits the side pop to go up 44-27, and the rout was on as Folsom goes on to win it by a final of 61-48 to make it 9 straight wins, improving to 16-0 overall and 4-0 in league play. One of the top teams in the area in girls basketball is the undefeated Antelope Titans, coming in at 15-0. And on Friday, the Titans played host to the Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack of Elk Grove, just a game back of Antelope in the Capital Valley Conference standings. Early on, the Wolfpack kept it close, getting to within 4, but after that, Antelope would take control of the game with shots like this by Alexis Agers-Sessoms. Also coming up big for the Titans inside was Bailey Hawkins. She was tough to stop. She would have a big game, helping the lead get to 16-5 late in the first. Second quarter now was just more of the same as the Titans behind the play of Nia Johnson. She gets the rebound and the putback. And how about Ariana Span? She gets the fake inside. That's going to double up Cosumnes Oaks at 26-13. Antelope would go to the half up 46-25 and would maintain that lead throughout the second half and go on to coast to an 81-57 victory. Antelope improves to 16-0 overall and looking like a team on a mission.
All right, Mike, you know, Antelope High School has just got a great culture of success out of the gate. It's not a very old school. John Becker, their principal, played high school sports at Valley High School in South Sacramento, but went to Sacramento State. So he understands the value of being involved, the red zone, the great rooting section. The girls team is loaded. 16-0 start. The Johnson sisters are terrific. How about Bailey Hawkins inside? You have to have a shot blocker, and she seems to be doing that really well for the Titans.
Yeah, she is doing it well. Definitely an impact player. But, Bailey and some of these girls, this is their second or third year with the team. And you're seeing that in the play on the court and why they're being so dominant now this year. And most of them will be back next year. But they got a run to make this year. They're going to be a tough team to beat. Yes, you have other teams that are playing well, but Antelope, it's fun to see them, and it's fun to see their progress from last year.
Yes, and our Sacramento B #1 team is still the McClatchy Lions, unbeaten in Sac Joaquin section play. Other teams of note, certainly some of the same familiar crowd. Oak Ridge Trojans up in El Dorado Hills, Sacramento Dragons. Sacramento and McClatchy will play each other soon in the Metro League, but Antelope is looking like a team that may not lose for a very long while.
Yeah, I agree, and they got a great coach in Sean Chambers, so they've got it all going on. Great rooting section. They could be a team you hear very much deep into the playoffs. All right, Joe, that's going to cover segment 1. We got plenty more hoops. When we come back, we're going to talk about a former area star who is doing some things in the NBA. We've talked about him on this show before, a guy you know well, and plenty more. Our Plaster Tile Company insiders, Mikuni Sushi, trivia, we got it all.
This is your RAM Auto Update.
Just in, the classic term used car is old-fashioned, outdated, and no longer of any particular relevance. Let's party. The Roseville Auto Mall is throwing a massive factory-certified pre-owned sales event. That means incredible savings on just about every kind of car in the world. All factory certified. It's happening now. It's going fast. In layman terms, skedaddle. The Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Welcome back to the very best of high school sports in Northern California. We are Max Preps Sacramento, brought to you by
our good friends at SMUD, the Sacramento Municipal Utilities District. See, we got the logo here. We always like to show this thing off. Thank you to our title sponsor, SMUD. All right, Joe, let's keep the hoops talk talking. Hoops talk talking, does that make any sense? Let's keep it going.
Literacy 101 on our show today.
A little stuttery today, but hey, Joe, we're going to talk about McDonald's All-Americans, and I think every year when we talk about this subject, we're wondering, will anyone from Sacramento finally get named? And it's a big hurdle.
It really is, and Sunday was the selection. We had 5 players from the Sacramento area out of 755 nationally. So McDonald's does a great job of nominating half the free world, and it's exciting. 38th annual boys game is in March in Chicago. Only one player from Sacramento has ever made that team, and that was in 2004, DeMarcus Nelson of Sheldon High School in Sacramento. He's still the state's all-time leading scorer. Normally this is bookmarked for 5-star recruits, the Aaron Gordons, the Ivan Rabs, the guys who are going to go to the NBA. But we had some guys who were pretty impressive on this list. Jordan Ford from Folsom, Christian Terrell, and Solomon Young, the 4-year teammates at Sac High. Danielle Kraft of Ponderosa was nominated for the girls' game. You've seen her game. You like her. Yeah. And then Alicia Hernandez, also of Sacramento High School. All nominated. There's an honor in that alone, but it's a hard game to make. But it's still a great game. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal was in this game, Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. That's the kind of players that they're looking for.
Well, and we talk about a guy that maybe could be the guy that ultimately gets in that game first. It could be Jordan Brown of Wood Creek, 6'10". We talked about him early in the show. We talked about him a lot last year. Just a sophomore, still growing, still getting. He is the type of guy where you could see, okay, that guy may have a shot.
And let's hope it's not because he's connected with Finley Prep or Oak Hill Academy. We always hear, the oldest, tired, most worn-out rumor, and we can't stand that in high school sports, is, oh, he's going to leave, he's going to leave, he's going to leave. Well, we heard he was going to leave last year. He was going to leave at mid-year. He's going to leave right after high school season in the summer. Well, so far, he's pretty happy at home. Lives right there by
So far. Yes. Yeah. All right, Joe, I just want to touch on a little McDonald's hoops, and hopefully one of those athletes will be selected. We'll see what happens. All right, halfway through the show, when we come back, we have our Plaster Title Company insiders. You're going to catch up and give us some news on a former area star now in the NBA, and later on the show, we'll bring our Mikuni Sushi trivia.
Thinking about whether a solar power system is a good fit for your home or not?
Here, try this instead.
SMUD can help. If you've got questions, SMUD's got answers. Check with SMUD before signing a contract. Visit smud.org/solaranswers.
Welcome back to the best of high school sports in Northern California. We are Max Preps Sacramento, brought to you by
SMUD, our Sacramento Municipal Utilities District, our terrific title
Oh,
sponsor.
yeah. An anchor entity in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Love to have them.
All right, Joe, it is now time for our Placer Title Company Insiders. Placer Title Company, your title and escrow company in Northern California since the 1970s. All right, Joe, this week's Placer Title Company Insiders, you caught up with a former area basketball star out of Oak Ridge High School playing for the New Orleans Pelicans, a guy you've known for a long time. Two questions. What sets him apart from the players we've had in this area, and what's going on with Mr. Anderson?
Well, Ryan Anderson, for one thing, is 6'10", and he could shoot. And in 2005, he was the driving force for Oak Ridge's CIF state championship win over Mater Dei. We've heard of Mater Dei. They were loaded then, they're loaded now. And Sleep Train Arena, Arc Arena still means a lot to him. That's where he really kind of got hooked on basketball. He would go watch the Kings play growing up, and then he won section and state championships there. Caught up to him last week at Sleep Train Arena, and it was a neat moment. We were talking about how he got here. He was a first-round pick. He came out of Cal. He's having his best season, averaging 17 points a game. And he was talking about how this arena means so much. He goes, I remember exactly where we celebrated the dog pile. And in mid-sentence, his high school coach, Steve Scott, crashed our interview. And Ryan said, oh, wow, look, speak of the devil. And he thought it was all scripted. It was neat that their relationship. And Coach Scott said that hardest working kid we've ever had, and he's earned it with, yes, he's got talent, but you work hard. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's a great shooter. He is on the trade block. There's speculation that maybe the Kings will trade for him. Let's go for that. We'll sign that off right here. We'll notarize it, whatever it takes. And he'll be a free agent this summer. He said that gives him great options. So this is a guy who's got a lot more basketball left. He's been in the NBA since 2008. And, yeah, it's a guard-heavy league, but if you're 6'10", you could shoot like the wind. Does the wind shoot? I don't know, but this guy shoots really well. Is as good as there is in the NBA.
Let me ask a question. Does he still track his old team, the Oak Ridge Trojans? Does he get a chance to get back home, kind of talk about, is he here in the offseason?
He does come home in the offseason. His parents, Jack and Sue, go to Kings games regularly. I asked him, so where are they sitting? He goes, I'm not sure. I think they get pretty decent seats. Yeah. He is so excited. He's so proud of his hometown, extended up to El Dorado Hills, Sacramento, and he's very pleased that a new arena is coming, Golden One Center downtown, but he doesn't want Sacramento to lose its charm. He likes kind of the humble, under-the-radar charm. Well, Sacramento needs to get above that radar, but he means well in what he's talking about. He's a guy who thinks back fondly to his roots, and he comes back.
Yeah, good to hear. All right, Joe, great for you to catch up with Mr. Anderson. I know you do that annually. We are now going to move over to our not our Placer Title Company Insiders, our Mikuni Sushi trivia question, Joe. I'll let you take it last week once again. You got some making up to do here, but you got another one for us this week.
And usually we make these up.
Yeah, we just make them up. Make up the answers and the questions.
Our Mikuni trivia question is a fun one. Who was the Sacramento Bee Player of the Decade for the 2000s?
What sport?
Basketball. I guess that's important. That's a good little footnote. So who was the basketball player of the decade for the Sacramento Bee for the 2000s? So think about some of the great players we've had.
I will do that. And you do that as well. When we come back from the break, we have plenty more. Stick around.
This is your RAM Auto Update.
Just in, the classic term used car is old-fashioned, outdated, and no longer of any particular relevance. Let's party. The Roseville Auto Mall is throwing a massive factory-certified pre-owned sales event. That means incredible savings on just about every kind of car in the world. All factory certified. It's happening now. It's going fast. In layman terms, skedaddle. The Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Thinking about whether a solar power system is a good fit for your home or not?
Here, try this instead.
SMUD can help. If you've got questions, SMUD's got answers. Check with SMUD before signing a contract. Visit smud.org/solaranswers.
All right, we're back for the fourth and final segment, usually our best segment because it's the last victory lap here.
Let's go 5 or 6.
There we go. The best of high school sports in Northern California, heavy on basketball. We are MaxPreps Sacramento, brought to you by
SMUD. We are brought to you by SMUD, the Sacramento Municipal Utilities District. All right, Joe, I had a chance to catch up and see Wood Creek Folsom last week, boys basketball. You got to see Jesuit Sheldon 3 versus 4 Sacramento Bee teams, if I have that correct. every time I see you, you're just talking about Sheldon. This team is really good. Maybe have the type of play like the Golden State Warriors, small ball, quick, good defense. What do you like about those Huskies?
They play the basketball the right way. They play a lot like Folsom, and Folsom has a early close victory over Sheldon. I think they'll meet again, maybe in the Sac Joaquin Section Division I playoffs. Isaiah Brooks, Devin Green, Elisha Duplessis, terrific three-guard combo. Matt Manning, 6'6" wing. Blake Mason is the grit and muscle inside. Drew Cobb off the bench, or sometimes he starts. But they just, they beat Jesuit 74-64. We just saw Jesuit. Jesuit's an impressive team, young team. Coach John Rotz has a lot of high hopes for this team, but good-looking teams. Delta League frontrunners now are the Sheldon Huskies. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see a Sheldon versus Folsom showdown. They met last year in the Section Division I Finals, and Jordan Ford and company, they won by, I think, 51-50. It was a great game. So a lot of good hoops around here, Mike. And the one team that we're going to catch up to here soon, it will be the Sacramento Dragons, our top-ranked team, and people will be entertained at the personality of this team, the personality of the coach, Derek Swafford, who doesn't sit. He's very active and great talent. Share the ball, play like heck.
Yeah, basketball. So we were talking about this. Basketball is really, really good this year, and lots of candidates also for Player of the Year.
I'm glad you're going to be making that decision.
No, it won't be me. That will be you. And his email is. All right, Joe. Last segment, we asked our weekly trivia question, our Makuni Sushi trivia question. That is, you had the question. Repeat it, and then we'll give the answer.
Who was the Sacramento Bee basketball player of the decade for the 2000s? Might be a good guess if you say DeMarcus Nelson of Sheldon High School.
That would be a great guess.
Still California's all-time state career scorer. However, I didn't go with him because he only played 1 year at Sheldon's, like a one-year loan package. Yeah. We went with Ryan Anderson of Oak Ridge High School. We just talked about him. He led the Trojans to this 2005 CIF state championship. That'll do some good damage, and he's done some pretty good things since then. 2-year standout at Cal, having his best season in the NBA now. Has been in the NBA since 2008, playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. 17 points a game. The guy can shoot. He might wind up with the Kings, if not for a trade, which would be nice. But he's a free agent too, and the Kings have had him on their radar. Wouldn't that be something?
You know, he met all the criteria for you. He led him to a state championship. He's a winner. He was a great player. He kind of covered all the bases when you're looking at that type of guy.
And we don't
character.
Exactly, a high character team guy. And we don't look at college and professional experience. I don't think that's fair, but. The fact that he did that just keeps him in the news. And our player of the decade for the 2000s in football was Austin Collie, also from Oak Ridge, because he won multiple section championships. These guys were just good. So Oak Ridge dominated the 2000s, and they're doing pretty well this decade too.
Yeah, they are. Well, you're just an Oak Ridge homer.
I went to school there.
You went to? Oh yeah, you went to school.
On my blog, it's that one will be. I put that as, so we hear it all that, you went to Oak Ridge and Cordova and Folsom and Oak Grove and Grant. The most hilarious one was St. Francis. Like the girls' school said, am I supposed to read between the lines on that one?
Yeah. All right, Joe, another packed show, all basketball. We love it. We'll be getting to wrestling here soon. And again, we'll just keep the basketball and wrestling going as we make our way through March. Any final thoughts? We had any big games coming? Any final thoughts? Any news and notes?
Interesting, we talked about Eric Armstead last week. He's from Pleasant Grove High School in Elk Grove, Oregon. He's now with the 49ers, the first-round draft pick. He's ecstatic to have Chip Kelly back with him. Chip Kelly's the one who recruited him up to Oregon, and he liked how honest Chip Kelly was during the recruiting process. How so? Well, he said, hey, I might not be around for long. I might be coaching in the NFL. He said, I liked his honesty. And who would have thought that they'd be working together
pretty cool.
For Jed York and Trent Baalke down there. So that's pretty cool. But check us out on SacB.com every day. We got video, we got stories, rankings, news, notes, previous shows for this show. Earlier shows are also here on MaxPreps.com. So we got high school covered inside and out.
Yes, we do. All right, folks, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.